Hey guys, sorry this video is coming at you a little late, but I've had a lot going on, being sick and working and all that stuff, but we still haven't talked about the latest episode of Daredevil Born Again, considering the penultimate episode. And you know, it's crazy we're already here, but this show has cooked momentum very fast. So this episode is called Isle of Joy, directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. I might pronounce that wrong, but that's okay. And Daro Scarspan is one of the top writers of the whole series, alongside Matt Coleman and Chris Ord. Of course, starring Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, and Margarita Levita. I think is how you pronounce her name. I might have got that name wrong. But this episode was bringing us back to our focus point. If you look at the previous episodes, you can tell the tone difference between the different actors, or the different directors and different writers. So this episode we've been anticipating for a while. It dealt with Bullseye escaping prison, and this episode by far has the best visuals, the best cinematography. Not very much action scenes, like there's not like a hand-to-hand combat standout fight scene of Daredevil in the Daredevil suit, but it got deeper into Heather and Matt's relationship, but it also got deeper into the mystery going on around with Foggy. Is Foggy dead? We learned that there was actually a funeral place. We learned that Vanessa and Fisk's relationship is deepening even interestingly, even so much to the point where Vanessa was the one to shoot Adam, and to kind of, you know, even though Vanessa is kind of the culprit of the season, she's very become the villain behind everything, as we know that she's behind everything, including something we'll talk about later in the episode. But so, we start this episode off seeing Bullseye in prison, and so we find out that he's moved to Gen Pop, normal population. There's a lot of jokes in the office about it, but it prompts Matt to go see Bullseye, and this is one of the greatest scenes. It's intense. Matt got to drop the F-bomb, and you can tell the difference in the tones between these episodes because Matt literally at one point picks up Bullseye and slams his face into the table. Because you know, Bullseye doesn't know that Matt Murdock and Daredevil are the same person. So he's just talking to the lawyer, seeing if he can get a better deal, information out of here. But he is serving a life sentence. Or was. But when Matt did that, later in the episode, Bullseye is getting stitched up, and he was able to get his tooth out, and he uses his tooth in a very brutal way to escape prison. And then he heads straight towards the gala, which was the big focus point of this episode, because we have Bullseye is coming to make a big scene, which we'll get to later. So yeah, so the relationship dynamics in this episode, so we have Matt, when he's down on his luck, goes to see Josie, as Josie says she's going to open up the bar, which is going to set up the finale in a major way, I think. We find out more about the Foggy mystery, which I think was interesting. But one of the things we have to talk about is one of the worst characters in this show, in this storyline, is the character of Cherry. Cherry is just not a likable character, and not a character that we like whatsoever. I hope he gets killed. I don't understand the purpose of his character. We could have had so many other support characters. Some of the support characters in this show just suck. I like Daniel. I like BB. I like I like Buck. Buck's a cool the new Wesley, the new apprentice to Fisk. And Fisk is slowly losing his mind. You know, in this episode, there's some weird writing choices, but I really liked Fisk getting angry about Matt, you know, being back as Daredevil, and you know that kind of causes a pretty interesting rift, especially at the gala, because we end this episode with Matt Murdock shot. This episode felt like a Frank Miller comic book panel. Like you had the ending shot of him bleeding out because he took a bullet for Kingpin, and we're setting the inevitable stage. Through this episode, we had issues between Matt and and Heather and their ideology of what they believe, what vigilantes are doing, the good they're doing, they're not doing. You know, as a therapist, she thinks they're all crazy after Muse and everything. So she's kind of had a different change of pace, a different change of heart. I think they're really doing some really unique things with this storyline. Matt going after Vanessa, realizing that she might be involved with Foggy, I think is mind-blowing. And it's very... the Bullseye stuff, I love Bullseye. I think they're doing a great job with Bullseye. I can't wait to see what the finale brings. If I had to score this episode, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, just because of the fact it is one of the strongest episodes, but I don't really care for Matt and Heather's relationship. Some of the writing decisions are a bit weird, and I don't love, and I really can't stand this Cherry character. But all in all, a good episode, well deserving of the Daredevil name. Can't wait for the finale. The finale is said to be brutal and intense, so I hope you guys are excited for the finale. Also, love that we get to see more of Jack, the swordsman, in this episode. I love how they're turning the task force into such an absolute beast. Can't wait to talk about the finale with you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for watching, guys. So this video's coming at you a little late, but I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a marvelous day. Thanks for watching.